The gang got back together in Wrexham, and Rob and Ryan will lose $28 million if Wrexham don't get promoted. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Season 2, Episodes 13 and 14 of Welcome to Wrexham. Back where we left off following Ben Foster's big save against Notts County. 4 games for Wrexham to win the league. They have a 3-point lead over County with a game in hand. Drawing Barnet while County won their next game cuts the lead to just a point, and there's no margin for error. Next up is Yeovil Town, who are all the way down at the other end of the table. Humphrey calls this a classic banana skin. Rob later calls it a banana peel. They're training at the racecourse in some really wet weather, which sets a tone for us. Quick reminder about next season's kits. We see the same scene from episode 12 and learn that Wrexham spent £200,000 on these kits, which wouldn't be permitted in the National League. Ryan reminds us how they were freaking out when the pitch needed £200,000 of work, but now they aren't sweating spending the same amount on kits that were a gamble to produce. But why aren't they fussed? Because as Reynolds says, 200k seems more like a rounding error. In short, it's because they keep bringing in more sponsors to offset the costs of running a football club. Episode 12 had a big ad for Expedia, and episode 14 is more product placement for HP and United, 2 of the club's corporate partners. Obviously, they can charge a lot more if the club gets promoted, but a worst case scenario would be a deficit of $28 million. That's where we get the episode title. No increases to ticket sales and TV money leaves only one avenue for increase in revenue. Like I said, corporate partners. So they sold the stadium naming rights to Stoke Cold Brew Coffee. Rob, along with Charlie and Dennis from Always Sunny, launched a whiskey brand, which is also sponsoring the club. Must have gotten some insight from Ryan, the business mogul. Okay, new kits are in, and Rob is unboxing the black kit that I'm wearing. We hear the United Airlines jingle, the club's new front of shirt sponsor. They're trying to decide if it was worth it. My guess is probably, as the kits are hard to acquire in the present day. I got lucky with timing the drop on the club website, and at a retail price of £65 each, the merch will start to become profitable for the club very soon. They might not have made enough of them though, because I'm seeing Wrexham kits on eBay for upwards of £110. Anything cheaper is probably a fake. Anyway, enough of the kits for now, I'll have to make another video. Anthony Ford has been away from the team. We learned about his partner's brain tumor a few episodes ago. Ryan helped them get a second opinion, and it sounds like that was really helpful for Laura. So now, Ford is back with the team after 6 weeks and just days before the Yeovil match. 2 wins will clinch promotion, so naturally, Rob is a complete wreck. Rob's anxiety is really taking a toll on him. It's materialized in a sty under his eye. It's the 3rd one of these that he's had. Good news for Rob. The Always Sunny gang is back together. Charlie Day, Glenn Howerton aka Dennis, and Caitlin Olsen aka Dee, also Rob's wife, are in town to experience the Wrexham match. Rob laughs about how the opposing players are looking at them trying to figure out which one is Ryan. Sean never drinks before matches, but was having a pint before Yeovil. Rob thinks this is a good thing, but isn't sure. This really is a must-win game for both sides. Wrexham going for promotion, Yeovil trying to stay in the division. Anthony Ford has the first shot of the game, and Rob explains his story to the gang. He's already their favorite because he has a son named Patty. Charlie says he played soccer in high school, mostly on the bench, but tried to break people's legs while playing as a defender. Caitlin once had a sub in for goalkeeper, but started crying. Scoreless at half, and on paper, this was the easiest game remaining. The crowd has been moaning and groaning, and Humphrey describes how this energy weighs on the players. Glenn tries the oldest trick in the book, going to the bathroom so Wrexham can score. A sloppy clearance from Ben Foster makes you think that Yeovil are going to score almost immediately, but Elliot Lee wins the ball back, and Wrexham get it forward to Ford, who finds the back of the net. What a moment for him to score in his first game back. Charlie is crying scenes at the racecourse. Wrexham double their lead shortly after, and 5 minutes later, Mullen makes it 3. Charlie toasts to Wrexham with the celebrations in full swing. You can just tell that Wrexham are going to do it. 3 points away from the promotion that the town has been looking for 15 years. Seeing Charlie run sprints with the Wrexham team at the end of the episode was hilarious. Alright, now let's jump back to episode 13, Family Business. There was some important stuff to cover, but not a lot of footy. Start of the episode, I wasn't sure this was the right show, because there were some Canadian women playing musical instruments. Turns out we're meeting Ryan's mom, Tamara Lee Reynolds. She calls Ryan an old soul who kind of raised himself as the youngest of 4 boys. Ryan's dad Jim wasn't really emotionally available and forgot to have fun with the kids sometimes. Jim was diagnosed with Parkinson's and passed away in 2015. I kinda had the feeling that Ryan's dad wasn't still around, but hadn't looked into it. This must have been a really tough episode to make. Ryan starts off talking about his relationship with his dad and how it was held together through their mutual love of sports. Rob calls it a generational thing. Both owners are trying to pass down the good things to their kids, who are obsessed with Wrexham. Andy Palmer, Ollie Palmer's father, is involved with his life and has helped the Wrexham striker realize how important that family is to him. That said, Ollie isn't spending as much time with his own kids as he would like to. Ideally, Palmer would move Wrexham down to London because that's where his family is. Sadly, he's missing his son's football games, but his wife Caitlin says Ollie does everything for his family and for his kids. I think Palmer really understands what he wants from life, and spending time with his kids is so important to him. Andy Palmer was a police officer officer and got into royal protection, working with the Queen and now the King. It was a demanding job that came with some cool perks, but also took his dad away during work trips. It was tough because his parents got divorced when Ollie was 11. Ollie remembers how hard the day was when his parents split up. His mom thought she was being left for another woman, but as Andy revealed, it was because he was interested in other men. Revealing that to his kids, family, and loved ones was very difficult. It just goes to show that people around the world struggle to talk about difficult topics, especially with family. Rob McElhenney can relate to this because his parents got divorced when he was 8 or 9, and his mom remarried another woman. As kids, they didn't realize it, but now they could recognize the courage it took for their parents to be able to just be themselves. I believe this is the first time we hear from Fleur Robinson, who is Wrexham's CEO. Fleur mentions the diversity of work, we see her shoveling snow, and also the difficulties of the job. Her father, Ben Robinson, was the chairman at Burton Albion, and that helped her get into this line of work. We see Burton Albion's kitman, Ray Rocky Hudson, same name as the football commentator, but obviously a different person. He's the oldest kitman in England, still working at the age of 83. Manager Phil Parkinson speaks about how brilliant Elliot Lee has been. He was a new signing this year. Lee wanted to become part of a project after his last contract at Luton ended, and Wrexham was the perfect opportunity for him. His dad, Rob Lee, was also a footballer, winning 21 caps for England. They're framing some of the caps in Lee's house. Elliot mentions how he's been in his father's shadow, and probably would need to help Wrexham get promoted to the Premier League in order to eclipse his father's achievements. Ultimately, we heard some very important stories that have shaped the people in this show. There's a lot that happens off the pitch that can impact the football. What did you think of these two episodes? Let me know down below, and thanks for watching.